Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, however this is finding you. I hope it's finding you doing very well. I wanted to come today to discuss with you merchant service providers of PayPal, Stripe, and Square, which are also called merchant aggregators. Now, there's definitely some advantages and disadvantages to using these providers. And so that's my goal here, is to help you understand when and what those are so that you can better navigate making a decision as to what best fits you and is in your best interests. So first off, the biggest advantage to these companies is that it's super simple to get an account with them and to start processing. So because there is no merchant or actual underwriting that they undergo, they don't do a credit check either. And so people that are applying for some of these accounts, they're often getting an account and approval right away, and they're able to start accepting their customers' payments right away. So that's one of the biggest advantages. And for the people that have bad credit or things like that too, it's an advantage for you in that regard as well. The other advantage is their flat rate fees. While they are fairly high, costly flat rate fees, when you're looking at your merchant statement, you know exactly what you're getting. So when it comes to transparency in that regard, I give them bonuses and props on that, because you see a fee and then you see the amount that you charged and you know exactly what you're being charged. So they are high flat rate fees. So for debits, that's actually not cost effective. However, some businesses accept mostly credit cards. And so in that case and in that type of a environment, that would be cost effective for those businesses. The other advantage is that, for instance, Square offers free equipment. And while I am with some companies that have great equipment opportunities and offers for businesses with larger volume, for smaller businesses, my companies that I partner with do not offer that. And so that might be another advantage for you, that I want to get started. I don't have any, volume yet for my business. I'm just getting going. So Square and Stripe and PayPal can be a great fit for that as well. Commonly, Stripe and PayPal are more of the e-commerce version of these. And what these are called, these three different providers, Stripe, PayPal, and Square, they're called merchant aggregators. Now, what a merchant aggregator means is that you are sharing an account with everyone else that's with that provider. So I kind of akin to it as like sharing a bank account with everyone that's at that bank. So, there's advantages, like I said, is the advantage of knowing you get your statement, you can see exactly what you're being charged. And there's generally no monthly membership fees or anything like that. So that's an advantage. Getting your equipment, that's an advantage. However, there are, of course, different disadvantages too. So for smaller businesses, it's not a bad deal. But for larger businesses, it can be quite concerning. So another thing that I kind of akin to it is like when you buy a car, if you spend $3,000 or $4,000 on a used car, you're likely just going to get liability on the insurance because you haven't invested that much into the car. And so oftentimes comprehensive insurance isn't cost effective. Well, likewise, when it comes to payment processing, like if you get a more expensive car, you're going to get full coverage insurance if you spent 30 or 40K because you want to cover your butt. And in business, it's somewhat similar. If you are very vested in your business and your business is running more volume, you kind of want to cover your butt even greater. And so with these merchant providers or merchant aggregators, the struggle can be is that they don't really have your back the same. You are sharing an account with everyone else that has an account. And that being the case, they are very, it's kind of common knowledge and known in the industry that they do extensive holds sometimes on people's accounts. So I've heard of people throughout any three of these merchants that they're trying to get their money back because they've got an extenuating hold. And when I say that, I mean they're holding their funds from a sale for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I've even heard months, and I've heard 10 grand, 20 grand. I've even heard 70 grand. I'm not going to specify which company what because I'm not here to slander these companies. They definitely serve their purpose. However, again, if you're doing a lot of volume, that's not necessarily cost effective. The other thing to understand too is if you're using certain types of connectivity like HubSpot or whatever, customer processings, you want to make sure you understand, like HubSpot, for instance, is exclusive to Stripe. So if you want to use HubSpot, there's not an option of who your provider is. And that might be a reason not even to use them and to find something else. Or maybe it's worth it for you to use HubSpot and pay high rate fees. That's obviously an option and totally your choice. So understand this though, with payment providers, with merchant aggregators, they control your money. And also just similarly with them controlling your money, they also have to fight your battles for you. So if you have a fraud issue or you have a concern, you can't go to Visa and MasterCard directly to fight your battles if that occurs. Where if you have your own merchant account number, you most certainly can. And lastly, service. Now, I've heard people say they have decent service when it comes to these providers. I've also heard people say they're very frustrated with their service. Mostly because a lot of times these providers don't have like a phone number where you can call and get 24/7 customer service, or you actually get to talk to someone on the phone and do they speak the language that you speak and so forth. So that can also be an added concern. And I do think customer service is as important as price, is as important as, you know, the transaction ability to make sure you're getting your funds right away and all the things. So these are just some things I wanted to discuss with you because I think it's important that you have the information available to make decisions that are to your best interest. So if you are processing under $15K a month, they're not a bad fit. You know exactly what you're getting charged. You know, you're not that vested in your company just yet. However, once you start doing over 15, 20K, especially over 20K and greater, and if you're doing 100,000 a month or millions a month, I highly suggest that you reach out to a payment processor like myself or maybe someone else. I welcome being a resource for you. My email is pamelaismypartner@gmail.com. Or you can DM or comment me or whatever here. Obviously, my handle here with YouTube is at Pamela is my partner. But my goal here is to provide you with some basic information to understand when a merchant aggregator, Stripe, PayPal, and Square is to an advantage and when it is not. So I hope this helps you and finds you well. And I hope that you've gained some insight in hearing all of this. And again, if you have any additional questions whatsoever, I'd love to be a resource for you. So I think that's it for today. But again, please comment if you have any questions and let me know if I can be of any help to you. I wish you well and I wish you prosperity and good health. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.